everyone, it's Sharonda from Pay or Wait, and today I'm going to be reviewing Nope, which hits theaters this Friday. This film is written, directed, and produced by Jordan Peele. It stars Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, Brandon Perea, as this film centers around the residents in a lonely gulch in inland California that bear witness to an uncanny and chilling discovery. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, hello, so glad you came, I hope you stay. I'll tell you what I liked about the movie, what I didn't like about the movie, and should you pay or wait to see Nope in theaters this weekend. So going into what I enjoyed about this film, one of the things that Jordan Peele does such a fantastic job of, even from, seeing when the first poster came out to actually being able to watch the movie, is he knows how to create buzz. He knows how to intrigue audiences enough while still keeping the cards close to the vest, of not letting them know the journey that they're in store for, but actually finding a way to keep them intrigued, keep them wanting to keep watching, to figure out the story as it unfolds. And I will say, while watching this film from a pacing standpoint, it does start off a little slow, but I actually think that that slowness is needed, especially in order for you to appreciate the third act of the film and how just like on steroids it is. But I have to say, while sitting in the theater, I wanted to keep watching. I wanted to keep seeing everything unfold before my eyes to try to figure out what in the heck is happening in this film. And I just think that that's something that Jordan Peele has always been consistent in, from Get Out to Us to where we are in Nope, is he knows how to keep the audience on the edge of their seat, but still keep them entertained enough to want to keep going until the end. Now, also too, this film feels bigger. The production feels bigger. The spectacle of it feels bigger. And I will have to say that even though we kind of zero in on this one little area of California, it still felt like the world was big while watching it. As you're seeing what this discovery is, as it's unfolding before your eyes, you're just like, oh, okay, like this is IMAX for you. And I will say that if you have the opportunity to see this film, please go see it in IMAX. That's what it was made for. And I think that it actually enhances the viewing experience while watching the film. But I will say that you feel that that scale is bigger. And I was like, okay, look at this little production bump. Okay, I see we had some money on our hands for this one. But what holds the glue that holds this entire film together is really based on the performances. The casting is absolutely phenomenal in this film. So much that as I get into some of the issues that I do have about Nope, because they have this caliber of talent with this cast, it felt criminal that a lot of these characters were underutilized. But I do want to stay focused on the positives, and I want to talk about the glue that holds this together is Daniel Kaluuya's character. Daniel Kaluuya is just such a talented actor. Like, please protect him at all costs. Let us wrap him up in bubble wrap, because I need to see more from him. And it's the little things that he does. There are moments in this film where Daniel doesn't even utter a word. It's what he is doing with his facial expressions, what you see in his eyes. There's ways that you're watching his character on screen and like, I knew exactly what he was thinking. I know what you're thinking, because you don't know exactly what he was thinking, but I felt like I knew exactly what was going on in his mind. And it's even just the subtle things that his character does that leads to some comedic moments, because you're so in tune with the character that you're just like, well, damn, they doing exactly what I would do in this moment. And I just think that he's absolutely great. It's the little things that he brings to this role that just makes him even more enjoyable to watch. Another person, Keke Palmer, literally, like, she's great in this film. Probably will be a fan favorite, even though I still feel it's like Daniel Kaluuya is my MVP for this film. But it is the charismatic Keke Palmer who just brings a sudden charm to her character, Emerald Haywood. I just absolutely love her. The audience is going to love her. And I just need Keke to be in everything. She's, well, damn near everything in 2022. She's been in everything, but I just need to see even more because she deserves the world. Now, Brandon Perea, I actually really liked him. OA fans, you're gonna be excited to see him in this film. There's something that happens with his character at the beginning. He's going through a tough time, y'all. His character going through a tough time, and then finds him in all of this mess with OJ and Emerald, and he like, man, I don't know if I necessarily signed up for this. Like, I was trying to distract myself, but now I'm kind of rethinking life right now. And I just love, like, he's like this geek employee that I really don't know how he has a job or keeps a job. But I think that he meshed very well with Daniel and Kiki, even though his character just comes in contact with him at the beginning of the film, it just felt like, I feel like there's like a great friendship that's gonna like come from all of this. But I will say that it's their performances for me that actually do elevate the film. Also, too, getting Michael Wincott, like, iconic, like, just his voice in general, but I really loved his character as well. I just thought that they did a really fantastic job with the casting. Like, it was really great. But even though I have all these great things to say about Nope, I have a lot of issues. And since we're staying on the role of the talent that's in this film, there's it's a couple of underutilized characters, especially Steven Yeun. I think that that's the most egregious one for me in this film. With his character, Ricky, there is a backstory that is so intriguing. While I was watching it, I was like, no, we need to come back to this backstory because there's so much more to his character and more questions that I had about after you see what happens. You want to learn more about the aftermath that unfolded after this incident, because it's going to be a spoiler-free review. I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone. And honestly, to the point where if Jordan Peele wanted to do a spinoff of what happened, I will be the first one in line to watch that. And honestly, walking out of my screening, a lot of people were just like, but I want to know more about this character. There is more to the story of what happens. Honestly, for me, it was more intriguing to watch what happened to Ricky than actually watching everything else that unfolded. And I know I'm speaking very vaguely, and I'll go through this in a spoiler review, but I don't want to spoil your experience. Also, too, Keith David, another iconic actor, has a small role, and it just kind of made me feel like, well, anyone could have played this character, and if we're gonna have Keith David, then I need you to use Keith David. And I don't necessarily like his character is pivotal, but I don't know. We're gonna leave that for the spoiler review so I can talk more about it. Now, a lot of people were asking in the comment section, is Barbie Ferrer, is she in this movie? She is in this movie, but like basically a glorified extra because it's for like 5 seconds. So I just want to set y'all up with that expectation because I was getting a lot of questions about it. So I just want to let y'all know, please do not go in here thinking that Barbie is in this whole film. It is literally like, call it a cameo. But I think that's the problem for me. It felt like while watching Nope that there were a lot of great ideas presented, but it felt like these were great ideas that weren't necessarily fully fleshed out. And I don't necessarily understand how some of these backstories with our characters that we're introduced to, how that really ties into the overall picture. Now it could be Sharonda. Well, if you're saying it doesn't tie in, then baby, maybe you missed the point. And maybe I did. But a lot of people walking out of this theater, including myself, was kind of just like, what did I actually just watch? And it wasn't in a good way. Like with Get Out, even though there was a lot of symbolism in Get Out, there's a lot of social commentary that happened in Get Out, it was still pretty much a straightforward movie. Like you knew what was happening. You knew the general premise of Get Out. Now, Us is a little bit more cerebral, had to dig a little bit deeper, but I was still able to make a lot of different connections while watching it. But for Nope, walking out of the theater, and I've actually watched this movie twice. I watched it on Monday and Tuesday back to back. Even with the second viewing, there's things that I pick up on, but not necessarily from a deeper meaning. It's just little things that I notice that kind of gives you the plot, but you don't know to pay attention to it. But I just felt like there was no real story. You want to root for the characters, you care about the characters, but at the end you're kind of just like, I mean, the third act was cute, it was nice, but I was just like, what is the point of this film? And honestly, I just don't feel like Nope really has anything to say after watching it, and especially watching it back to back. If the story as a narrative, it just felt dense to me. It just felt very lacking. I just felt like it was just a lot of different ideas pieced together that would have made better use in television, actually fleshing out some of these side stories, especially as we get into what happens with Steven Yeun's character in the movie, even though I still felt as though his character didn't belong because I don't understand how all of it connected. Now, there is a random side thing that happened with Kiki's character, and it's a pandering issue when I feel like we're pandering to check boxes because we say something in dialogue to allude that this person is this, but it's just like if I'm not seeing them actually be in their element and they just have to say something, so you could be like, oh, this character was so-and-so. I didn't really like that. It was very much pandering. And when it happened, I was like, really? Like, you guys are about to do this? Like, I expect this from other studios, but I truly did not think that I would get this in a Jordan Peele movie. It's a very minor detail. It's not the end of the world, but I do want to point that out because I just really hate when you can feel like somebody's checking a box. But overall, for me, nope, it was a letdown. I was very frustrated and disappointed after walking out of the theater. I was just like, I don't know what I watched, and I don't know if I necessarily, outside of me having to critique this movie, do a review on it, I don't know if after this review or even doing a spoiler deep dive, if I would even give this movie much thought. Again, that's just how I feel. I don't think that I would tell anyone to spend money on this. So for me and my coins, for you and your coins actually, because I didn't have to spend no coins, but for you and your coins, what I would tell you to do, I would say that Nope is a wait. This is the weakest film for me from Jordan Peele. That doesn't mean that I've lost faith in him as a director, as a writer. I just think that there were better ideas presented in this movie that weren't followed through, that I would rather watch that. I felt like after walking out of Nope, it just felt like a lot of things were left on the editing, like the cutting room floor. It felt like the film was edited in a way that it took out a lot of the narrative of the film that would actually give you more insight into the characters' backstories, who they are, why they do what they do, and also too that would lend more to what the actual purpose of this film is. I felt like that's sitting on a cutting room floor somewhere, because I just don't know how they made Nope instead like the audience is going to connect with this, because it's just not something that I connected with. Now, in closing, these are my opinions, y'all, okay? It's how I felt about the movie. I will always tell you guys to make your judgment for yourself. Take this review as a grain of salt. It is up to you to determine what you want to watch, okay? And it's also okay for us to have differing opinions. So please be respectful in the comment section. You do not have to attack someone in order to say that you disagree. But I would say first, before you comment, just go see the movie for yourself, make your own opinions, and I welcome us to have a very respectful and fun conversation in the comment section. I will be doing a spoiler review for this movie so we can talk a little bit more in detail. I know some of the things that I said felt very vague, but I want to make sure that you have the same viewing experience that I had as well, all right? All right, so those are my thoughts on Nope. As always, my name is Sharona from Peele. And if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. And until I see you again, bye.